What's good? What's good, y'all? Crosswalk back at y'all again. Episode 44. I'm Jax, this Cross. Man, how was the weekend, bro?
Man, I can't complain. We're getting that good time of year with the weather. Everything's good. We had a lot of fights, NBA playoffs, man. A lot to talk about today. Doing well, ready to get into it. What about you?
Solid weekend, solid weekend. Like you said, a lot of good stuff happening. Man, I went to the movies. Me and my daughter went to go see Mortal Kombat 2. Um, very impressed. I was very impressed actually. So it was a solid weekend, man. But we on episode 44. So I know you got one, but you want me to go first though, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right. So when I heard the number 44, like there's so many good players with 44, man. I mean, tons and tons across a bunch of different sports. But the first 44 I thought of was Barack Obama, but he's not a he don't count. So
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Reggie Jackson, man.
Okay.
Reggie,
Mr.
Reggie
October.
Jackson.
I like it.
Yes.
I like it.
Yeah. So number 44, I mean, obviously I'm a Jackson, so anybody with that name, my parents are gonna beat that into my head that they actually mean something, and he did for a team that I don't necessarily like, but I like their history. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Reggie Jackson. But I know you got one. I know you got a good one.
So for my number 44, I'm gonna go with Hank
Hank
Aaron.
Aaron, that's a
This
good
your
one.
boy. Hey, this your boy Cross way back when he had hair right here. You know,
Yeah,
it's young Cross right here with Hank Aaron, man. Got to meet Hank Aaron, spend a meal with him, talk to him. Like phenomenal human being. Rest in peace. So for me, this was an easy one, brother. Hank Aaron.
yeah. No, that's a great one. That's a great one. You actually had you ate with him. You had food with
Yeah,
that
bro.
man.
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
Dang, that's
yeah,
crazy. That's
yeah.
an absolute legend, bro. That's
hmm
nuts. What did y'all eat though? That's what I want to know.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. This was so long ago. I couldn't even tell you what the meal was because I'm gonna be honest. I was starstruck the whole
Like
time. I was like,
as you should be, as you
yeah,
should
real
be.
talk. Because I think at the time I was still in my 20s at the time, and I was just like, man, this Hank Aaron, dog. Da, da, da. Like just everything he went through, what he had to deal with for the culture, what he
Yeah,
meant, all that, man. It meant a lot to meet him and then just talk to him.
yeah. That's legendary. I did not know. Um, Hank Aaron. Dang, Hank Aaron played in the Negro Leagues at some point. Like very. Did he play like at the
Oh,
very beginning?
I don't know. I don't
Because
know.
if he didn't, let me see. Let me see. Let me look it up. He did. He played in the Negro Leagues. That's
Wow.
crazy. Yeah, it ain't that long ago. It wasn't that long
hmm
ago. That's dope though. All right. So this Saturday, UFC Vegas 117. A really good card actually. It was a really
hmm
solid card. Um, so we can start really right at the MVP. Who was the MVP of the card for you?
The MVP of the card. MVP of the card for me. I'm gonna go with Arnold Allen. Like like he kind of had to defend that spot. He's been in there with so many tough guys.
Yeah,
It was one of those spots to where like if he didn't win this fight, you're gonna fall out of the top 10. And like at that point, it's tough to battle back. But he went in there and he basically showed Melquizel Costa, man, that there's levels to it. Arnold Allen is definitely still very dangerous. Still, in my opinion, one of the best featherweights in the world for
hmm
sure. And just so well rounded, got skills everywhere. And it doesn't matter who he's in there with. Like it's gonna be a tough night out in the office.
for sure, for sure. That's a great pick too. I mean, he did the right things against somebody who was very high. Man, it was very hard for me to not pick Costa
Mm-hmm.
going into this fight. I really wanted to, but I don't know. I just felt like Arnold Allen, like you said, his level of competition that he's faced is top tier. I mean, he's only lost against the top of the top. So um I didn't think that Melky was there yet. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a great pick. My MVP was Doo-Ho Choi, the
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Korean killer now, I think is his he's not the Superboy anymore.
Not Superboy anymore. This is villain arc now.
Yeah, he's in his villain arc now. So yeah. But I mean, he did what he was supposed to do against Daniel Santos. Um, and I mean, he showed that he's still a force. He can still be a force in the division, and he's still one of the most exciting fighters in
Hmm.
Division Two. I don't think that there's ever really been a Doo-Ho Choi fight that hasn't been exciting, whether he won or lost. So
Yeah.
that was definitely my MP.
And that body shot was
Oh
nasty.
yeah. Oh, it
Mhm.
was. It was.
So I
Um,
got so I got a question for you.
yeah.
Who is your stock up after this card?
Man, stock up. That's a tough one because there are some performances that I thought were, I mean, they got the job done, but it didn't really like super impress me in the sense of a stock up. But I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Chaos Williams. And the
Okay.
reason I say that is because of the excitement factor in a very exciting division. I think that him getting rid of Valentinnikov the way that he did just reminded the UFC that he's super exciting. And he's going to be in, whether it's somebody that's ranked at the back end of the fifth, 11 through 15, or if it's somebody on the precipice of getting into the top 15. Regardless, he's going to be exciting. So I think that his stock definitely went up with him.
Gotcha.
Who was yours?
So I'm going a little differently. I'm going with Juan Diaz, man. Like he came into it making his UFC debut, going up against Malcolm Wellmaker, who was looking to bounce back off a tough loss to Ethan Ewing. And I think everybody just penciled Wellmaker in for the win. And Juan Diaz just came
Yeah,
out, made it a very dirty, ugly fight, got in Wellmaker's face. And it was kind of like whenever Wellmaker tried to like reassert himself, Diaz would just like, nah, I'm gonna tie you up, get you in the clinch, like
yeah,
just make it dirty, ugly fight, and then managed to get a finish. So Juan Diaz, man, like surprised a lot of people, came out of nowhere, got the finish, and that's who my stock is up on.
yeah. Which leads me directly to stock down.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it goes without saying, stock down is definitely Wellmaker. I mean, I really had high hopes for him. I like his story, his personality. Everything about him lends you to think that he's going to be a star, and he has a lot of tools to make him that. He's an exciting fighter. But I thought that, when he fought against Ethan Ewing and lost, I was like, okay, he ran into somebody who had a better game plan and was just a notch above, but he's
Mm-hmm.
still a really good fighter.
Mm-hmm.
And then this happens, and it's like now the UFC is gonna be like, okay, now what are we
Yeah.
doing here?
Yep.
Are you a karate combat guy? Or are you, a UFC fighter? What are we doing? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, stock down definitely on him, unfortunately. And who
Well,
was yours?
my stock down. I'm gonna go a little different approach again. I'm going with Polyana Vienna. Like, I mean, she went from Poeton to now. I think she's lost like 4 fights in a row. She got in some type of submission that we've never seen before in UFC. It was
Oh yeah,
crazy.
I think they said it was a
Back.
capsule lock. I think
Yeah, capsule lock. Like she
yeah,
had a body triangle locked up from the bottom, and then Elise Arlene, man, she like pinned her leg. And
yeah.
like when the fight was, I was like, what happened? I had no idea what happened. So yeah,
Hmm.
Polyana Viana, because she thought she was safe, and then next thing you know, she was tapping.
Yeah, that was a wild one, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they do with her. I mean, I feel like you have to cut her, right? You have to.
Yeah, yeah, 4 in a row. Got you.
I mean, who did she beat? Who has she beaten? She's won before, but like, who was it?
She's got 3 wins in her last 10. She's 3-7.
Oh,
And none of the 3 wins, none of those girls are still in the UFC. So
yeah, no, she gone.
yeah.
She out of there. Um, Let me look at these comments. Sean Moody said, "What's up? Let's go Detroit."
Moody.
Of course, of course. Lane, what's up, guys? Let's go OKC. It's very interesting.
Always good to see you, Lane.
Yeah, it is. It's always good to see you. It's very interesting because remember last year, who was the one that was cheering for Indiana?
Was it Lane?
Hmm.
Lane, were you going with Indiana last year in the finals?
We need to check the tape.
Yeah, we might have to run that one back on you, Lane. We might have to run that one back. But Lane,
don't
by the
know.
way, I will be doing a watch along for the Thunder Spurs game tonight. So everybody in the chat, make sure you come back to Crossover MMA tonight. Watch along for the Western Conference Finals tonight. Starting off.
Yeah, the real finals. The real finals. Speaking of, well, before we jump into that, man, anything else on this card that you want to jump into? I didn't see this fight. I didn't make it home yet, but the Ketlin Vieira and Jacqueline Cavalcanti fight, like what happened?
Nah, I'm gonna be honest, not much. Like I feel like Caitlin Vieira in all her fights, like she just tries to make it ugly, get girls in the clinch, hold them up against the cage. And it was a lot of that. When they were out at range, Cavalcanti was doing you could tell she was the better fighter at range. But unfortunately, she just wasn't putting out enough volume. And you know, it was just 29-28. And I like Cavalcanti, man. I was ready for her to take that next step and then possibly get another title fight.
Yeah. Sean Moody said it was boring. Here we go. Here we go, Lane. See, I knew I remembered. She was going. She was going with the Pacers.
Yeah, we don't forget, Lane.
She said she had OKC to the last two games that she switched to the Pacers. Okay, I respect the honesty. I knew it. I knew something was up. Cool. Yeah. Anyway, any other fights on here that you wanted to point out before we jump over to the NBA?
Nah, I think we're good.
Yeah. Before we leave though, what do you think? Arnold Allen, who should he fight next?
Arnold Allen. It's tough because he's fought Gene Silva. Movsar is in line for the title shot next. Maybe he can do the winner of Diego Lopez, Steve Garcia.
Could do that. I was thinking maybe he fights Yair Rodriguez.
Bro, when is Yair gonna fight? I feel like it's been forever since he's just so inactive now.
He's unbelievably inactive. He really is. But I don't know. I mean, when I was looking at the kind of the top five, I was like, he right there. That's a guy that you can fight. Yeah. It'll help. Beating a win versus Yair is not going to look bad on your resume. So,
yeah.
We'll
see, I guess.
We shall see. All right, so on to the playoffs, the NBA playoffs. So the Cavs took out the Pistons in Game 7, and that did not look like a game at all.
That's why Grimy ain't in here right now.
He sure ain't in here.
Bro, Grimy was sick yesterday, dog. I was talking to him a lot. I was talking that cash money shit to him yesterday. But yeah, he was sick, dog. He was sick.
Man, dude, it was. That's a good call out, Sean Mooney. Tommy Gant did give me that dog of the week. I appreciate him. But yeah, Detroit. It's funny how you get into the playoffs and they really start to really expose the holes in your team, and there's a clear and definite hole for Detroit when it comes to a secondary ball handler, or just a secondary scorer, because. In the last series, Tobias Harris got hot, towards the end when they were able to put away Orlando, since Orlando was missing Franz Wagner. And then obviously towards the end of the season, I can't remember his name, the one with the dreads, he filled in while Cade was out. But like in this series, Jalen Duren averaged under 10 points. And that can't be your secondary scorer. What Tobias Harris was 0 of 6 or 0 of 7 in the last game. That can't be it either. Like it can't just be Cade, and that's just what they ran into, and it was going to come up eventually.
And
Ain't
then at
bad
some
either.
point, man, Donovan Mitchell just took the game over, bro. It was just like basket after basket. I'm like, is anybody gonna defend this dude? And by that point, I think the lead was already like 20, and I was like, yeah, it's kind of gotten away from him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was bad. It was bad. Um, so in seeing what the Cavs did there, and obviously New York ran straight through the 76ers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, this is not the finals that the Eastern Conference Finals that we thought was going to happen. We thought it was going to be Boston against Detroit,
Mm-hmm.
but we're here now, and these are two teams that have flaws. But how do you see this playing out?
And I think the Knicks, they got a lot of momentum. I know they got the time off because they just went through the Sixers so easy. I think game one in that series is going to be very important because with Cleveland just going to game seven, like they're going to come in, like they're going to have the rhythm, the legs going to be underneath them. So I'm expecting the Knicks to come out, not to shoot the ball too well early, but maybe like they can get some momentum because the crowd's going to be in the game, all of that. But I think the Knicks are going to make it to the finals.
Yeah, I'm leaning on the Knicks because I just don't trust James Harden, bro. I don't trust him, man, and I don't think the Cavs trust him either. I think he was two of seven in the last game.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have a lot of turnovers, but I mean, he just turns into a, I mean, a standard role
Not
player.
James Harden. That's who he turns to, not James
Yeah,
Harden.
like it's amazing how now he's had some big games in the playoffs, but they've been surrounded by a bunch of terrible games.
Mm-hmm.
So they need Donovan Mitchell to play like first team All NBA Donovan Mitchell for them to win, and they need Evan Mobley to be the second best player in order for them to win. Like I feel like New York, if OG Anunoby's hamstring is right, which I think it is, um, and they keep playing through Carl Anthony Towns the way that they've been, I don't know if this gets past 6 games.
Yeah, because I mean, you already know what you're gonna get with Brunson. Brunson gonna show up every night.
Consistent. He's
Mm-hmm.
great. So yeah, I think it's going to be New York against whomever comes out on the West Side.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of the West Side, you sent me a text the other day, and as soon as it happened, and you were like, "Yeah, the real finals start soon."
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that, I think the season series was 3-1 San Antonio. Um, and the one game that I think that San Antonio lost, I don't think that Wemby played. What are your thoughts going into this series?
None of that matters. None of that matters what you did during the regular season. This playoff basketball is the Western Conference Finals. It's going to be more physical. The pace of the game is going to slow down. Like everybody's actually playing defense right now. Everybody's going to lock in. And in my opinion, just like you said, man, this is the NBA Finals right here. I cannot wait to see it. We got the storyline with Shea just becoming MVP, back-to-back MVP over Victor Wembanyama. So that's going to be an element. And then we also know Victor Wembanyama does not like Chet Holmgren at all. They're going to be matched up all series, and I'm here for it. And I think it's going to be phenomenal basketball.
Yeah, I think so too. So here's a question. Outside of Shea and Wemby, who do you think are the most important players on each of the teams?
So for San Antonio, it's going to be interesting. So with Harper and Castle, because they're probably going to start with Castle on Shea. Can Castle stay in the game and not get in foul trouble early? Because if Castle can stay in the game and guard Shea for majority of the other possessions, I think that's really good for the Spurs. But luckily, they got a couple dudes they can throw at Shea, which I know they're going to do because on the flip side, they run a lot of their offense with Castle at the point. So, I mean, he ain't going to be able to guard him too much. but I think it's really going to be like the second and third scores. So like, how does Chet Holmgren limit Wemby? Wemby's still going to do his thing, but you just can't allow him to go crazy. And then on the flip side with the Spurs, like the 2-3 matchup between Castle and Harper, what are they going to do with Jalen and Chet? Like those guys kind of gotta like negate each other, like their production. And I think it's gonna come down to like I think most of the games in this series are gonna come down to the fourth quarter, and it's gonna be like 1-2 possession game. I think it's gonna be super competitive.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that for OKC, it definitely is Chet. That's the most important player on the team outside of Shea, and it is because of the Wemby cross matchup. He knows him very well, and if Chet is hitting his threes, then that changes the whole makeup of the OKC's offense, and of course, it pulls Wemby out. He has to respect it. But if he's doing that and playing solid defense on Wemby and just frustrating him, disrupting his base, making him take tough shots, like that's really all you can ask. If he's able to do that, then I think that OKC does what they're supposed to do and they get out of this. Now on the other side, I think it is Steph Castle because he's supposed to be San Antonio's second best player, and if he's able to affect the game in multiple different ways, not only his defense on Shea, but his defense on AJ Mitchell, his defense on Jared McCain, on anybody that comes into the game at the wing, like he has to apply that pressure and stay out of foul trouble. Like I think that this whole series is going to come down to who's in foul trouble, who's making open threes. What it's going to come down to. If OKC is making open threes, then I feel like they have the edge. But if they're not, San Antonio is a better bruising type of team than OKC is, simply because of that tall Frenchman. So
I'm actually real curious to see if like we're gonna see a lot of straight up basketball this series, or if anybody's gonna be bringing double teams. Because I think we're gonna see a lot of straight up basketball. I don't think they're gonna send a lot of doubles to Shea when like Castle's on them, and I don't think they're gonna send doubles to Wemby when Chet on them. I think we're gonna see a lot of straight up mono basketball.
Yeah, because you're right, man. Especially San Antonio defending OKC, like. Who do you double off of? Who are you leaving? So I mean, not to say that everybody's a knockdown shooter, but on OKC, you got to respect, everybody, unless Hartenstein and sometimes Caruso, if Caruso's going through a bad shooting slump. But for the most part, the majority of them, I feel like they are more of a knockdown 3-point team than San Antonio. San Antonio, they're gonna allow some shots to go up, especially from Castle and Harper, to see like, okay, you're gonna have to make it. You're just gonna have to.
And De'Aaron Fox got to give the Spurs something to this series. Like I feel like De'Aaron Fox got to play big in this series.
Yeah, he's gonna have to play like an all-star. And he's been a little inconsistent in the playoffs. They've been winning, but he's been inconsistent. He's been showing up at really good moments, but he's been inconsistent. But also, and you mentioned him a minute ago, was Jalen Williams coming back. That's going to be interesting. I don't know. Obviously earlier at the beginning of the year, he had the wrist situation. So I'm curious what his shooting form is going to be like, because just like last year, they're going to need him to be that secondary scorer. Even though they have AJ Mitchell and like I said, Jared McCain and all these other players, but they aren't what J Dub is, or is it J Dub? Yeah, J Dub. What J Dub has been in this league so far. So I don't know, man. I'm excited about the series for sure. But do you have a prediction?
I mean, on the flip side, I will say this: I did pick both of them in our little thing before the season, so I felt
You did.
very good about that decision.
You did.
But I think it'll be better for the NBA if San Antonio wins, because then we can start some type of little rivalry between OKC and the Spurs. I think that'll be phenomenal for basketball. But I know OKC's favorite, so but
Are they favored?
yeah, OKC is definitely favored. And I think they're like minus 240 last time I checked, maybe. But that it could have swung a little bit by now though.
Dang, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I feel like OKC figures it out, and by figures it out, it's really only figuring out one person. If you figure out Wimby, then you make the Spurs back to being a mortal team. Not to say that, I mean, because I think the Steph Castle is amazing. I think the De'Aaron Fox is amazing, Keldon Johnson, all of them. But it's just something about having Wimby on the team that just changes the dynamic of your team.
Yep.
So if they're able to hold Wimby to 22 points, 3 blocks, 10 rebounds, I think OKC can walk out of here with a win. Like, I think they can do it. But everything's going to just depend on him. Like, can you neutralize him? That's really what it comes down to. And I feel like Lane said OKC is minus 175 right now to win.
Okay.
Yeah. That's interesting. But I think it just comes down to, can you figure out how to neutralize them?
Good luck, because I don't know how you neutralize them. Dude was just created in a lab somewhere, dog.
And if Wemby comes out making his threes, dude, there's nothing you can do. It's kind of like LeBron. If LeBron is making his threes, like prime LeBron, he's making threes, bruh, it's a done deal.
Yeah, it's funny you bring up LeBron. I just saw a clip like maybe 2 days ago. It was Brendan Haywood, went to Carolina, was with Dallas. He was talking about that series when he was in Dallas, and he was saying how like that year LeBron outside of 15 feet, like the stats just plummeted, and they was like, that's pretty much what we did in the finals. We was just gonna pack the paint and just let him shoot jumpers outside of 15 feet. So it's very true when those guys are making their jumper, like there's no defending them at all.
Yeah. I mean, same thing with Giannis. If Giannis is making his jumpers, bro, you might as well go ahead and stop the game now. There's nothing you can do. Yeah. So I'm excited about it. And by the way, I did pick Cleveland in our draft, so at least I got them in there.
Yeah, you still alive.
I'm still in there. I have no hope that that's going to go any further. But they're there. They are there. All right, so on to some big news that we got during the fights. So Dana White, which was interesting, and I'm curious about your take on this. So he announces during the fights the card for UFC 329, and somehow it coincided with Francis Ngannou walking out for the MVP MMA card. So, do you think that was on purpose, or do you think that's just coincidence?
Well, that was on purpose, man. Dana petty as hell, man. You already know what time it was. Like, bro, as soon as the camera cut to Francis, I look at my phone. Dana White going live. What's going on? I'm like, bro, you so petty, dog. So petty. But speaking on the MVP card, though, I mean, wasn't really too competitive, like top to bottom. Ronda Rousey go out there and she does what she does very quickly against Gina Carano. Francis goes out there and it's just he almost kills Felipe the Lens dude. And then Nate Diaz gets cut as usual, and it's a doctor stoppage. I mean, that's the exact reason why I went with
Mike Perry.
Yeah, with Mike Perry, but yeah, I think MVP is a good start. We're gonna see like where they can go from here. I don't know how long it may be till they do another MMA card, but I think the more competition, the more MMA we can put out there, the better.
That's true. I mean, the UFC definitely needs competition just from an economic standpoint. Because I mean, the fighters, they still aren't getting compensated the way that they should. Elaine said Wemby was out there throwing elbows. That elbow against Nas Reed was nasty.
Caught him right in the neck too.
Yeah, you know what? Before I go back to this MVP card, back to Wemby and that elbow. Do you think that he should have got a fine?
I'm actually surprised he didn't get fined. Like the league is whenever you do anything, they just like, yeah, we're just gonna go in your pocket.
Yeah.
Like I'm glad he wasn't suspended, but yeah, like fine, I'm definitely surprised. But you want to know what's crazy, bro? When we were growing up in the 90s, that would have been just a common foul.
Yeah. Yeah, Charles Oakley did that millions of times. Yeah. But do you think that if it was the other way around, if Nas Reed elbowed Wemby,
yeah.
What do you think?
Oh yeah, bro. The league is gonna protect their stars, man. That's across the board. Any sport, the stars of a league, they are going to go above and beyond to protect. That's just the way it is. And that's their economics, man. They want their guys that bring eyeballs to the sport. They want them on the court, field, whatever it is, playing.
Yeah. Yep. I think that he should have been fined, but I'm glad he wasn't suspended. Yeah. Just for, But if Draymond Green would have done that, oh, bro, you out the series.
Yeah, but on the flip side though, you got to think like they look at what you've done in the past as well. It's kind of like how it was for Rasheed Wallace. If Rasheed Wallace would do anything, it's already a tech. Like it's just one of those things when you've like been doing that for so long and you got that track record and the refs know you do this. Yeah, they're definitely gonna be after you.
Yeah, for sure. So back to the MVP card. You mentioned that you didn't know when they might do this again. Do you think that they should?
I mean, I don't know what fighters they're gonna get because there ain't gonna be no more Ronda Rousey.
Nope.
I mean, I'm sure they can find some more cans to throw in there with Francis, and we get to see some brutal finishes, which I know we all love to see. But I think the biggest thing for them is like, where are they gonna get the fighters from? You know what I mean? Because I mean, with the UFC got the best fighters and the most fighters, then you got PFL that's got fighters, and where do you go?
Yeah, it's like they have to get cast-offs, like people who either flame out in the UFC or aren't good enough for the UFC. Like people who just kind of fall by the wayside. I think Covington might be out there, but he's not even an exciting fighter. So it's like,
exactly.
What do you do? So I feel like we're gonna get Francis Ngannou against Arlovsky or something goofy like that. Like
Jairzinho Rosenstrike again.
Like, dude, we've seen these. We already know what's gonna happen.
Jailton Almeida out there.
I mean, yeah, but again, boring.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
It's boring. But that's it. I forgot he was out there. Yeah, he's a waste, bro. Lane brought up Eileen Pereira.
Alex's sister, yeah. Bro, her fighting style is just like Alex, dog. Like legit, super tall, long, looking to land that left hook, bro. It's weird, like watching her. It's kind of like when you see Alex's sons. Like
I was just about to say that,
bro. Exact same
identical
style, man. Exact same style.
It's nuts. It's nuts. So do you think that? So the Ronda Rousey Gina Carano thing happened, 17 seconds, armbar, exactly what we thought was going to happen. A lot of people have been saying that it was fixed.
I'm not going to sit here and say it was fixed. I'm going to look at it like this. Both of them are over 40. Gina Carano has not fought anybody in, what, a decade?
17 years.
Exactly. She just lost all that weight. Like, what were we really expecting? Like, were we expecting her to be like prime Gina Carano? And then we also got to think Gina Carano was fighting in an age where like they didn't really have to deal with many problems inside the octagon for real, for real. So
Yeah.
I mean, this fight went exactly how the vast majority of people expected. I just don't think they expect to be that quick. But we know, man, Ronda get her hands on you and it gets to the ground, it's a wrap.
Yeah. I mean, I figured it was going to be within a minute because I figured that Ronda was like, I'm just going to grab her, take her down, and armbar. Like, it worked before. And that's just a skill that she's not going to lose.
Nope.
She'll be able to do that when she's 65 years old.
Yep.
It's
when
not
the grandkids come over and they want to play around, she just roll around, throw one of them in the armbar real quick.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere. So that this fight went exactly how I thought. I thought it was weird that people even bringing up the fact that that was staged or it was fixed. I was like, dude, we literally saw her do that in the UFC, and we knew those people were not trying to lose that fight.
Yep.
So
I mean, Kat Zingano was on the desk, and it happened to her in the UFC in a title fight.
Yep. Right after Kat, didn't Kat beat Amanda Nunes? Not shortly before that.
I want to say I think Kat beat Nunes earlier in her career.
Yeah. So I mean, I know Kat wanted that win, and she got taken out of her real quick. Ronda's just hard to beat like that.
Yep.
So nah. But I mean, as far as the card itself or the MVP promotions doing those, like you said, it's going to be hard to get fighters to fight on it, and I don't think they'll have the patience to even try to build that whole organization up. It's almost like the whole Zuffa boxing thing. Like, I haven't seen anybody talking about Zuffa boxing. Like, have you heard anybody even talking about it?
No, not since the one dude signed for like however much he signed for, and everybody was up in arms about that. After that, that's it, bro. That literally is the only person I've heard about Zuffa boxing.
Yes. So, yeah, I mean, I think it'll be the same way, but just the opposite for MVP. Like, they don't have the resources or the time to even put into it like that. I think that they did this to spite the UFC, and I don't think that necessarily worked, but it is what it is, I guess. See, Lane said, have we seen Alex? He's 255. Yeah. He's a monster. I
don't think he needs to get in the octagon at 255. Though. I think when the fight happens, I think he needs to be in the 230s personally.
Yeah, 235.
He ain't got to worry about no grappling with Gon, man. Gon gonna be moving, bro. Gon gonna be light on his feet. And I mean, I understand like wanting to put that size on, but Gon don't really get hit clean like that too often. I think this is gonna be one of those like point fighting type kickboxing matchups, or Alex gonna have to go in there like he did in the rematch against Ant and just go after Gon and just get to him early.
That might be his best bet, to be honest. Staying on the outside and trying to catch him, I don't think that's a good idea. Because Cyril Gane, he got great cardio. He'll run around that the octagon for 5 whole rounds,
and will leg kick you and just point fight you.
Yeah. What was I going to ask you? So, I forgot. It was about Alex Poatan. That's what it was. Have you seen UFC 6, like the gameplay and all that stuff?
I've seen a little bit of the gameplay. I've seen people complaining about it, especially when they go into the flow state and like they start like glowing and stuff. But I have seen when people go into the flow state, they can get knocked out as well too. So that's gonna be interesting. Obviously, when it drops, I'm gonna get it. Probably start doing some live streams, playing it online, and maybe even like people in the chat. If they want to play.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get it. It does look a lot like UFC 5, but
and some I read today about UFC 6. They're not gonna do it supposedly, and this could be totally incorrect, but supposedly they're not doing the rating system. They're gonna do it where every fighter's like at their prime. So like they want to encourage people to use more fighters. So it's not going to be like where they are right now today. And I believe it or not, I actually like that. I think now it's gonna be better off. Like you won't be as afraid to get a fighter that's not as well known, but you'll get probably like the best version of them. Because they were
I
saying, like,
mean,
yeah, you'll get like the best Robert Whitaker, for
that's
example.
cool, but what I did like about UFC 5 was when they put like um the different versions of the fighter. Like,
Yeah.
you
Mm-hmm.
know, give me UFC 300 Max Holloway. Like that's a
Mm-hmm.
different guy. That's a
Yeah.
different guy.
Yeah.
I like that part of it. And it gives them a different look too, because let's say that Max Holloway had a different hair. Well, he did. Like that Max Holloway versus UFC champion at 145, Max Holloway, different hairstyle,
Yep.
different trunks.
Yep.
So I liked that. I liked that they did that, then. So I hope they don't lose that part of it. But I can understand you wanting to fight with the peak. I want peak Anderson Silva.
Yeah.
Not, at the very tail end of
Mm-hmm.
Anderson Silva or this version of Izzy. Like, don't give me that one. It's not gonna go well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, I agree with that. So we got about 15 minutes left.
Yep.
And so it's now we got to dive into this UFC 329 card. Um, so were you surprised when you heard Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway?
So we've been seeing rumors like for a while now about Conor McGregor coming back to Max Holloway. They're in negotiation. I'm gonna be honest, even though I was seeing it on, so I was like, I'm not gonna believe it until I see Dana White actually announce this, or Big Marcel actually announced this. Like, I'm not buying it. Because I mean, I think Connor's what, like 37 now, something like that.
Too
And
old.
like all the booze, all the extracurriculars, all that. Like, is this really what he wants to do? And it's gonna be interesting to see what he looks like. And hopefully, he makes it to International Fight Week. It happens, it goes down the whole nine. And we go from there, really.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hopeful that it happens. Like I've never been a big Conor McGregor fan, but I understood what he meant for the organization,
Mm-hmm.
and for casuals, which it's always, you know, for the UFC, they always want to get the casuals on board
Mm-hmm.
and turn them into, diehards. So I understand what he means for the UFC. So seeing him announce definitely it boosted my morale a little bit in the sense of, I haven't really been super high on the UFC since the Paramount thing started. It doesn't feel the same. And I can't
Mm-hmm.
really put my finger on, the loss of excitement, but it just doesn't feel the same. But I think that this boosts that quite a bit. You have two superstars fighting, and it's not for a belt, but it is a rematch, and it's important. It's important to both of them.
Yeah.
So um, that definitely means something. I really hope he makes it to the fight. I don't have high hopes for him in this fight, but he's a martial artist. Things can happen, and
Mm-hmm.
he's still got. I mean, I don't think that power's gone anywhere. So
Yeah, but that we saw when he moved up from 145 to 155 and then to
yeah,
170, that power is not as dangerous up there at 170. And this fight's taking place at 170.
which is another thing. Max has not fought at 170. Do you think that that's going to have any bearing in this fight?
If anything, I think it's gonna help Max Holloway, if I'm being honest. I think the penalty that Connor's going to get from the time off and being away and coming back from the broken leg and all of that is much more severe than Max Holloway going up to 170.
Yeah.
I mean, Holloway, we already know he's gonna get all the volume, the output. He can eat well during camp. He don't have to diet. He ain't got to do none of that. And a dude that's already got crazy cardio, I'm expecting even more volume out of Max Holloway, honestly.
Yeah, man. I think Max puts him down. I think he puts him down. The
When's the
same way Dustin did. I think Max does it too. Yeah. I think the real the real entertainment is going to be the lead in to
Mhm.
see what Conor we're getting. You know, are we getting the trash talking Conor? Are we getting the nice Conor? Like, what are we getting? Because it's been so long. So um, I think that's going to be the real entertainment. And then plus we can see this is the stuff that Josh Hoke need to sit down, take notes. This is how you build up a fight.
Mhm.
So because like it or love or hate Conor McGregor, he knows how to build up a fight.
Yep.
He's very witty, very smart with his comebacks. So that part's going to be very, very interesting.
And
But
then surprisingly to me, I wasn't expecting they stacked the card. The card is really good too. I was
yeah,
expecting when I saw Conor, I was like, oh, this card is gonna be trash.
yeah,
But bro,
yeah,
you look at the card, bro, the
yeah.
card is really good.
It
Really
really
good.
is. It really
Mhm.
is. So co-main, you got Patty Pimblett against Benoit Saint Denis.
Mhm.
Uh, That's a fight right there.
Mhm.
Now, I mean, Benoit's been on a nice tear since he had that loss against Dustin Poirier, and I mean he rebounded from that so nicely.
Mhm.
Patty Pimblett is coming off that loss, but
Yeah.
but um, he showed a lot of good things on his rise up to that. So with the way that he dispatched of Michael Chandler. So I mean that fight, I don't know where it's going to even take place.
I think it's going to end up being a grappling match between the two because Benoit Saint Denis wants to grapple, Patty wants to grapple. We saw Patty got a chin, Benoit Saint Denis got a chin. So if they're on the feet, man, both guys can take a lot of damage. But I think at some point it's gonna go to the ground. We're gonna see who's the better grappler. Or the grappling could nullify one another and it just ends up playing out on the feet. Like I think it's gonna be a phenomenal fight.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, for sure. I think it would be interesting if the winner of this fights Charles Oliveira for the BMF belt. That would be
Interesting.
interesting. That would be interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah. Um, Corey Sandhagen against Mario Bautista.
So I got no problem with the matchup. This is my one issue with this. Corey Sandhagen and Sean O'Malley should be fighting. Like I know O'Malley's fighting at the White House, but those two guys should be fighting. I don't know how this is not what's been going on. And that fight should definitely be happening. But as far as Sandhagen Batista, high level MMA matchup, high level.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, man, the winner of this going to be right there for potentially a title shot, man, for real. And
Yeah.
Batista, just a tough guy, super cardio. Corey Sandhagen, well-rounded, got skills everywhere. Like this is going to be some high level MMA right here. Probably going to be a very, very competitive fight too.
Yeah, I really like this fight, but I have one problem with it also is I wish this fight was 5 rounds.
Yeah.
Because I feel like both of them are 5-round fighters. And I want to see those adjustments that they make because it's going to be a chess match between the two. So I would have liked for it to be 5 rounds, and we're only going to get 3. But like you said, it will determine on who needs to be up there getting that next challenge at bantamweight for the belt. This one is interesting. Brandon Royval against Loner Kavanaugh.
Mm-hmm.
Loner done got he's up there now. He's fighting the big dogs now.
Mm-hmm. It's the new generation at flyweight, and man, this was gonna be exciting for me. I just see probably not as action packed as Royval Van, but kind of close to it. Like I don't think it's gonna be as back and forth as bad of a war as Royval Van was, but I think this is gonna be close to it because I think both guys gonna be in there and they're gonna this one's gonna be fireworks. This potential fight of the night right here for me.
Yeah, I think so too. Do you think that there's a finish in this fight?
Nah, I don't think there's a finish in this. I think this one goes 15 minutes and like both guys gonna eat a lot of shots, gonna be a lot of output. I think it's gonna play out on the feet. Royval's always ready to get down, and Lonnie Kavanaugh, man, what he just did, he's definitely ready for that upper echelon at bantamweight.
Yeah, totally agree. So Gable Stevenson makes his debut against Elisha Ellison, whom I don't know at all. But I know Gable Stevenson. I do know him. So I expect Ellison is a can. I would expect that that's what the case is. But
Mhm.
um, I have no expectations on this fight other than Gable better win.
Yeah. I think everybody's expecting Gable Stevenson finish in like the first like 2.5 minutes in this one. The UFC knows what they're doing. They're definitely trying to build up that next like potential USA star. Got another American wrestler, um, and like they've had their eye on him for a while. Cormier's been talking about him. Rogan's
Hmm.
been talking about him. So I think they're definitely going to build him up and select his opponents very carefully.
Yeah,
And because I mean, he's still new to the sport. He's still got a lot to learn, even though he's training with John Jones. But I think I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Gable Stevens.
100%. I am too. Especially in a shallow heavyweight division,
Mhm.
he can make waves really quickly, especially with that wrestling background. All right, so I'm gonna throw these three fights out at you, and you tell me which one you're more excited for. Whitaker versus Krylov. Whitaker going up to light heavyweight to fight a top 15 ranked fighter. Cody Garbrandt, former champion, against Adrian. I mean, that's a lot of striking.
Mhm.
And then Tracy Cortez against Wang Kong.
This is easy for me. Robert Whitaker and Nikita Krylov, and for a couple of different angles, Whitaker going up to light heavyweight, but then on the flip side, man, Nikita Krylov is so reckless and so wild. Like his fights are always action packed, whether he wins or loses brutally. Because I mean, he will get brutally finished. But for me, I think this going to be a good shot because if Whitaker wins, he's right in the rankings at light heavyweight straight away. Um, but on the flip side, though, him getting finished by Hamzat the way he did, and then Krylov is a very dangerous grappler as well, very opportunistic submission threat.
Yeah.
On the feet, for me, Krylov is so reckless and so defensively irresponsible that the speed of Whitaker could give him some problems.
Yeah. I worry about this. I mean, anytime you see, a fighter that you really like going up in weight, like your first thing is like, are you too small for this division? Like I
Mhm.
remember when Ben Henderson went up to welterweight to fight, and I was like, this is a bad idea. Your striking is already not that together. Like this is awful. But he ended up finding a way to win. Same thing with Cowboy Cerrone. And so, Robert Whitaker, he's a professional fighter. He's a champion. Like he knows what he's doing. But man, those dudes are huge. Those dudes are huge at light heavyweight. Bro, I don't know, man. I'm definitely hoping that he, dives into that recklessness of Krylov and knocks Krylov out, but I don't know. I don't know. I am very excited for this Cody Garbrandt against Adrian Yanez fight, simply because I know it's going to be action packed, and
Mhm.
I know that I don't think that this fight goes to the end at all. Somebody gets knocked out.
Oh yeah,
One
for sure.
thousand percent, somebody gets knocked out,
Hmm. Hmm.
and
I think the longer this fight goes is if how much Cody's dancing around. Because Yanez ain't gonna be dancing around. Yanez is gonna be right in front of you trying to throw combinations, trying to knock your head off. So
mhm.
if Cody wants to, if Cody wants to do what Cody does and just like screw it and just stand in the pocket, it's gonna be fireworks.
Yeah, man. Because yeah, I don't know if Cody's gonna, his fight IQ is gonna go out the window like it does from time to time. But at some point, I feel like it's going to be an in the pocket. Somebody's going to get knocked out,
Mm.
and Cody is unbelievably fast, but Adrian's fast too. So I don't know. That one's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Tracy Cortez against Wayne Kong fight is interesting only because um, Wang Kong has not looked the same as she did when she first came into the UFC.
Mhm.
She was super flashy. You could, how you see a fighter come into the UFC, and just the way that they move is just different, and it just feels like they're outclassing whoever they're against. And she looked like that in her first fight, but then since then, it just feels like she's taken her foot off the gas when it comes to her striking. She's been more selective or more gun shy with her striking, and it's affected her. And she's been able to, she's lost and she's won but squeaked by. So I'm curious which one shows up, because Tracy's not playing.
Yeah, Tracy's not playing, but if Tracy trying to strike with Wayne Kong, it could be a long night for her, because Kong,
Might be a
she got
short
some
night.
skills. She got some skills on the feet. Personally, I think if Tracy Cortez is smart, man, she's gonna try to grapple.
She better.
Like for real, like let her get comfortable on the feet, get you like a little body lock, get you a trip, and get her on the ground, like slow her down and possibly even look for a submission. But on the feet though, Kong is very dangerous on the feet.
Yeah, she is. So those three are pretty good fights, man. I mean, like you said, this card is really good. It's a really solid international fight week card. Are you bothered that there aren't any title fights on this one?
Nah, I got no problems with it. Like for me, it's more so about the quality of the fights and the names on the card than it is like a title fight. Because bro, we've seen plenty of boring title fights.
Yeah, for sure. We have. Speaking of title fights, before we go, I did have this question, and we didn't get to talk about that card afterwards. But so Joshua Van beat Tatsuro Taira to retain his flyweight belt, and it was the co-main on that card. Do you think that that fight could have headlined a numbered card and been just fine?
The actual fight itself, absolutely, but the name value, I don't think so. I don't think that would have been enough. It kind of that would have had that feeling to if you remember UFC 301, where I think Pantoja like headlined the card in Brazil, and it was kind of like it was right after UFC 300. And then UFC 302 was Islam Poirier, so it kind of was like that forgotten card. We kind of was like whatever with.
Yeah.
And I think there would have been some vibes of that to me.
So here's why I asked that question, is because it's not pay-per-view anymore. So the stacking the card the way that they did, like for this UFC 329, is interesting, but from a viewership standpoint, what's the difference of what I did for a fight night versus what I did for a number card? I went to Paramount and turned it on, and the presentation is almost the same. Get a few more bells and whistles for a numbered card, but not a lot. It's the same.
True. You're not wrong in that assessment at all. I think it's more so like with the number cards, like they want to put guys on there with a little bigger name value to try and get the casual viewer, because like there are casual people that are in Paramount just going watching other stuff, and then occasionally they'll see like that UFC ad right there, like, oh, this is on right now, and they look at it, and if they recognize a name or a face, they're much more likely to click the button as opposed to like keep it moving.
It's true. That's true. That does matter. Yeah, I don't know. It's just something I've thought about, because, which I mentioned before, like the Paramount era, my excitement has gone down, and it's just a lot of it actually does have to do with the fact that the pay-per-view part of it. Not that I want to pay that, but there is something about that barrier to entry.
Like it's like that mystique is gone a little bit.
Yeah, it's like having a club, and there's a VIP, but if everybody can go into VIP in and out, it's not really VIP anymore.
Yeah.
And that's what it feels like. But I don't know. Maybe I'll make a video on that or something. I don't know, but it's very interesting to me. Anywho, before we jump off of here, I know you're gonna stream tonight, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
everybody in the chat, make sure you pull up for the Western Conference Finals tonight. We will be streaming over at Crossover MMA tonight, doing a little watch along, enjoying the game, talking trash. You know how we do. So make sure y'all pull up for that for sure.
yeah. So very interested in how this shakes out. By the time we come back, it'd probably be 2 games played or maybe even 3 by the time we come back. So we'll assess the series and see who's going to the NBA Finals or who we think's going to the NBA Finals. But yeah, until next time, we will catch y'all boys later.
Peace.
Thanks for watching Crosswalk. Come back next Monday to chop it up.